What's up my peeps, it is now time for the Battleground 2015 results/highlights and review video. So as always, I'll be going over the results really quickly, some of the highlights in my opinion, and then give you guys my thoughts and my review on the show. So the kickoff, obviously it's the same kickoff panel with Booker T, Renee Young, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves going over the matches. And then you get Eden interviewing R-Truth about his match with Barrett. And pretty much R-Truth says that tonight he can't wait to see Barrett's face when he sees a guy with a plunger as a scepter beating him and taking his crown. And then as the kickoff panel is talking about the New Day and starting to clap, the New Day goes ahead and joins the people on the kickoff panel and they start clapping with them. And they go ahead and talk about their tag team title match and how they're going to win the tag team titles back. And they all clap and say New Day rocks at the same time. The crowd was doing it too, but I couldn't figure out if they were saying New Day sucks or New Day rocks. Usually I can figure it out, and they're usually saying New Day sucks. But I actually think this time they might have said New Day rocks, because it was hard to hear because they were all saying it really loudly at the same time, the crowd and the New Day. But basically, New Day's over, whether they were saying New Day sucks or New Day rocks or whatever. So after that, it was R-Truth versus Barrett. Just a few of the highlights of the match are big moments. You had R-Truth hitting the scissors kick on Barrett, which Barrett kicked out of. And then Barrett went ahead and went for the bullhammer. R-Truth ducked, he rolled him up. Barrett kicked out at 2, and then R-Truth goes for a little Jimmy on Barrett, but Barrett holds on to the ropes, so it's only R-Truth that lands on his back. And then Barrett follows it up with the bullhammer, gets the 3 count, and wins the match. After that, we get a Q&A with Paul Heyman, and then the actual show starts. Randy versus Sheamus. The crowd obviously is heavily behind Randy since he is in his hometown. They're chanting RKO, but they're not doing it the usual way. Instead of chanting RKO, RKO, they're chanting RKO. Kind of like New Day sucks or New Day rocks. So I guess that's the new thing. Or maybe that's just going to be for St. Louis crowd. I don't know. Anyways, so early on, Randy has the advantage, and Sheamus is kind of running away from him, but eventually Sheamus gets the momentum. He gets the advantage in the match by hitting 3 Irish curses. It used to be called the Irish Curse Backbreaker, but I hear they banned that word. But anyways, he hits 3 Irish Curse Backbreakers on Randy in a row, and from then on he kind of has the advantage for a lot of the match, or a big portion of the match. Eventually, Randy Orton goes ahead and back suplexes Sheamus on the announce table. It doesn't break. It was actually on the announce table top and the table. He didn't take the top off and the monitors. And back in the ring, Sheamus went ahead and tried for the bro kick, but Randy ducked, and then Randy hit him with a power slam. And then after that, you had Sheamus doing the thumbs down that he did on Raw before going for the bro kick, which I don't get that because, he had his own thing before where he would pound his chest, and that was something that the others weren't doing at the time on the roster. Now, I know this is Batista's thing, and I know Batista isn't on the roster currently, but still, he had his own thing before, so why not stick to that? But anyways, so he goes for the bro kick once again, and Randy ducks it once again. And then Sheamus tries for the Irish Curse, but he doesn't get it, but eventually hits Randy with white noise. And then Randy goes ahead and hits the superplex on Sheamus. Sheamus kicks out of it, but then Randy hits him with the DDT in between the ropes. And then he goes for the RKO, but Sheamus counters it with a roll-up. And then he follows it up right away with the bro kick. I thought maybe it was going to be over there, but they were both down after the bro kick, and Sheamus took way too long to go ahead and go for the cover. So he didn't go for a cover at all. And then instead, he tried to lock in the cloverleaf, but Randy got to the ropes. And once he got to the ropes, he goes ahead and hits the RKO out of nowhere on Sheamus for a 3 count. It wasn't an RKO out of nowhere because Sheamus is jumping from the turnbuckle or anything. It was really after the cloverleaf, he just hits an RKO just like that. Goes for the cover and wins the match. So Randy beats Sheamus. And after that, we get Jojo interviewing Stephanie McMahon on what happened with the Divas on Raw, and she announces that there's going to be a triple threat match where each, group of Divas is going to get to pick a representative to represent them in that triple threat match. And then we get the Primetime Players versus the New Day. New Day make their way out first. They talk about how sometimes you have to lose to go ahead and win, like in the future, and that tonight is a New Day because New Day rocks! New Day rocks! And then the Primetime Players came out, and the match starts. And it wasn't too long of a matchup, but anyways, Xavier Woods definitely did get involved. It was Big E and Kofi Kingston. Those were the two legal men in the match. But as expected, you know, Xavier Woods did get involved. And last time, of course, it was just PTP versus two members of the New Day. There wasn't that third member. I thought with that third member in there that the New Day would retain, but here's what happened. So, like I said, Woods got involved by kicking Titus O'Neil behind the ref's back, and then Kofi followed it up with a DDT. Since he followed it up with a DDT, I knew he was going to kick out. And yeah, Titus kicks out. And after that, we get Kofi jumping from the top turnbuckle onto Titus, but Titus takes him down in midair with a pretty much like a punch to the gut. And then he tags in Darren, who takes out Kofi with a belly-to-belly suplex. And then he goes ahead and takes out Woods with a back suplex on the apron. I really like that move. And then Kofi goes ahead and tries for the Trouble in Paradise on Darren, but Darren Young catches him with the gut check, and Kofi rolls out the ring. And then Big E goes ahead and charges Titus O'Neil, who gets tagged in by Darren. And Titus O'Neil hits him with a Clash of Titus for the 1, 2, 3, and the Primetime Players retain their tag team titles. I was really expecting New Day to win back the titles tonight. So, yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a rematch now at SummerSlam. We'll see. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynn talking about tonight's match, talking about change in the Divas division, and how they're going to start a Divas Revolution tonight, and Charlotte says they're going to do it with Flair. And then Bray versus Roman Reigns takes place, and when Reigns made his entrance, there was this one lady in the crowd. I'd say she was in her 40s or 50s or something like that. Once she touched Reigns, she just went nuts to what seemed like her husband right next to her. She went nuts like a little girl. I was like, what? But anyways, yeah, match starts, and I'm gonna go over some of the big moments in the match. You had Bray Wyatt hitting his running crossbody. I think they still don't have a name for that. They just, whenever he hits it, they say, oh, it's Bray Wyatt just throwing himself on the opponent, but, you know, whatever. So he hits that on Roman. When around the time he hits it, the crowd starts chanting, let's go Wyatt, and Wyatt sucks. So kind of like, let's go Cena, and Cena sucks. They weren't chanting Roman, at least, you know, unless I missed her or anything. But yeah, for most of the match, it was let's go Wyatt, and Wyatt sucks. And Bray Wyatt hit the DDT on the apron. He had control for most of the match, until Reigns eventually hit him with a back suplex. But even then, it was still, you know, kind of back and forth. And Reigns went for his apron dropkick on Bray Wyatt, and Bray actually countered the move. Nobody's countered the apron dropkick yet, but he countered it with a clothesline. I definitely didn't see that coming. I guess because nobody's countered it so far, and I didn't expect somebody to counter it with a clothesline. I would expect something like just, you know, getting out the way or something like that. After that, Bray Wyatt follows it up right away with a senton on the outside. And then back in the ring, Roman Reigns hits Bray with a sit-down powerbomb into a pin, but Bray kicks out. Eventually, Reigns hits the apron dropkick on Bray successfully, and then once he gets him back in the ring, Bray counters the Superman punch, and he hits him with the side slam, but Reigns kicks out. And then Reigns powers out of the Sister Abigail like he did back at the Elimination Chamber 2013, I think it was, or 2014. Whenever it was when they faced off against the Wyatt family. And he goes ahead and hits the Superman punch, but Wyatt kicks out. And then Bray stops Reigns from hitting the spear by just kicking him in the head with a big boot, but Reigns just takes it, and then he turns back around and charges Bray, but Bray also turns around and hits him with a quick clothesline, taking him out, and then he covers him, but Roman kicks out. And after that, we get them fighting on the outside once again, and we get Bray Wyatt grabbing some chairs. And before he gets to use the chairs, Reigns takes him out, and then he sees that Bray was about to use the chairs, so he grabs the chairs and he puts them all in the ring. He puts like 4 of them or something back in the ring. So then the referee who's in the ring, he's distracted by that, and he decides to grab the chairs and try and throw him out the ring, the other side. So while he's doing that, a guy in a hoodie, it was obviously Luke Harper, you could see it. It was Luke Harper in a hoodie. He comes out, he pushes Reigns headfirst into the steel post, and then follows it up with a super kick, and then he runs off, And then Bray follows that up with a side slam onto the apron, and then he puts Reigns back in the ring, follows it up with Sister Abigail, covers him, 1, 2, 3, and Bray Wyatt beats Roman Reigns thanks to Luke Harper. So it looks like the Wyatt family's back together. Now Eric Rowan is not there, but Eric Rowan is injured. I'm assuming once Eric Rowan comes back, the Wyatt family is going to get back together. After the match, we get Luke Harper getting back in the ring. He takes off his hoodie to reveal that, hey, it's Luke Harper if you didn't already see from the camera angle. And he poses behind Bray. And you know what? That was a surprise as far as Bray winning goes. And also Luke Harper helping him out. Because I guess the Wyatt family wasn't together, I didn't expect, if Bray was going to win this match, I didn't expect it to take place like this, to be because Luke Harper comes back and helps him out. So that was nice, and it's cool to see Bray Wyatt win like 2 matches in a row, because usually what happens with Bray is he'll win a feud, and then he'll lose the next one, and then he'll win the next one, and then he'll lose the next one. So right now, he won the match against Ryback, and he also won this one against Reigns. But with the way the match ended, maybe this feud isn't over. They might have a match at SummerSlam, we'll see. Anyways, after that, Jojo interviews BAD, Sasha Banks, Tamina, and Naomi, asking them if they had any trouble figuring out which one of them is going to compete in the triple threat tonight. And Naomi says, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to, make some trouble in between us or something like that. Basically, they don't answer the question, but the match is right after anyways, so we get to see who it is. And the match ends up being Sasha Banks versus Charlotte versus Brie Bella. In the beginning, Nikki Bella teases like she's about to compete in the triple threat match, but then she gets out the ring and tells something to Brie Bella, and Brie goes ahead and gets in the ring. So it's Brie competing for her instead. On the commentary team, Michael Cole said, oh, she's having her sister, fight her battles. So anyways, some of the moments in the match, you had Sasha Banks putting Charlotte, actually, she put Brie first in between the ropes, and this is in the corner. She puts Brie in between the top and second rope, and then she puts Charlotte in between the bottom rope and the second rope. So one is like on top of the other, and then she climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps down on them with double knees. And at some point in the match, you had the crowd chanting, "We want Becky." But anyways, you had Charlotte double clotheslining Brie and Sasha. There was a lot of doubles in this one. Like a lot of, one of the Divas doing something on both of them at the same time. You had Brie hitting a double bulldog on both of them. And then Brie went ahead and hit the Daniel Bryan kicks on both Charlotte and Sasha. You know how when Daniel Bryan, he has his opponent down on their knees, he starts kicking them. And when there's 2 opponents, he starts kicking both of them at the same time. One kick there, one kick there. That's what she was doing. One kick there, one kick there. And while she was doing it, the crowd was booing her. And eventually, one of her kicks gets countered. And then Charlotte goes for a spear on Sasha, but she gets out the way, so Charlotte spears Brie instead. And then Brie goes for a missile drop kick on both of them. But that could be seen like a mile away. You knew Brie was on the top rope, but Sasha and Charlotte, I'd say that was maybe Sasha, she was looking over at Brie while picking up Charlotte the entire time and getting closer to the position for the, missile dropkick. But anyways, Brie hits the double missile dropkick on them. And then she goes ahead and hits the Brie mode knee. I don't know what it's called, so I'm just assuming it's called a Brie mode knee because she yells Brie mode before doing it on both of them. And then she goes for a second one on Charlotte, goes for a second one on Sasha, but Sasha gets out the way, so she just falls out the ring. And then Brie tries to get back in the ring. Well, she gets on the apron, but Sasha takes her down from the apron, so Brie falls down on Nikki and Alicia Fox. And then Sasha goes ahead and decides to hit a suicide dive on Brie, Becky, and Paige, and then Charlotte follows it up with a dive of her own over the top rope on Naomi and Tamina. And then back in the ring, Sasha goes ahead, locks in the bank statement on Charlotte, and Brie, she grabs Sasha and throws her into the ring post, which sends her to the outside. And then she goes for the Bella Buster on Charlotte, but Charlotte counters it, and then she locks in the figure 4, and Brie Bella taps out. So a win for Charlotte on her debut in the main roster. Well, actually, no, she debuted on Raw on the main roster, but I don't know. Some people would, I guess, refer to this as her real debut, but whatever. After this, it was time for Kevin Owens versus John Cena. So in the big moments in the match, you had John Cena hitting his top rope Faymaster on Kevin Owens, which Owens kicked out of. And John Cena went ahead and tried for the 5-knuckle shuffle on Kevin Owens, but before he could turn around and do it, Kevin Owens already rolled out the ring, got on the apron, and taunted John Cena with the "you can't see me" taunt. And then Kevin Owens went for the swanton on John Cena, but John Cena got his knees up. And then Kevin Owens once again copied John Cena's comeback, and then he hit the 5-knuckle shuffle. He tries to go for the attitude adjustment, but John Cena counters it with the electric chair facebuster. And then John Cena right away locks in the STF, but eventually Owens gets out of it, and then Cena goes for the springboard stunner, but Owens catches John Cena before he could hit the stunner with a German suplex. Like, John Cena, bounced off the rope, and then he tried to go for the stunner, but Owens got him, German suplex. And then after that, he followed it up with a rolling senton in the corner for a 2 count. John Cena then tried to go for the sunset flip powerbomb that he did at Money in the Bank, but it was kind of botched. I mean, he eventually hit it at Money in the Bank, but in the beginning, he was about to fall on his head. But here at Battleground, he hit it perfectly this time. It was smooth. He did it right. And Owens kicked out of it, and then John Cena goes for the top rope Fame-Acer once again. But when he goes for it, Kevin Owens counters it with the sit-down powerbomb and a pin. Now, something that, kind of annoyed me when he hit that was, like, the commentary team, man. He had a big move. John Cena got his top rope leg drop, or top rope Fame-Acer countered into a sit-down powerbomb, which is pretty much Kevin Owens' finisher. But when he hit the move, the commentary team was freaking quiet. They didn't say anything. It was as if it was just a normal punch, or if the match just hadn't started yet. I'm like, what? If this was JR, he'd be like, oh my god, something like that. I mean, shit. Batista hit John Cena once at SummerSlam, caught him from the top rope Fame-Acer into a powerbomb, and I'm pretty sure the commentary team at that time was all excited and like, oh, that's a big move. But when Kevin Owens did it here, there was really no reaction from them until the replay. But yeah, whatever. So he hits that, and John Cena kicks out. And then John Cena right away hits Owens with the AA, gets a 2 count, and then Owens hits the top rope Fisherman suplex, but John Cena kicks out of that too. And then throughout the match, Kevin Owens would yell at Michael Cole. This time he tells Michael Cole to watch as he tries to go for the pop-up powerbomb, but John Cena counters it with a Hurricane Rana. And then Owens goes ahead and super kicks Cena into the ropes. And once Cena comes back from the ropes, I thought it was going to be a pop-up powerbomb, but instead, Kevin Owens hits him with the AA, and then he follows it right up with the STF. And then John Cena gets out of it, and he hits a Tornado DDT from the top. And then Cena finally hits the springboard stunner successfully this time, and Owens just rebounds from it with a clothesline right away. That was pretty cool. Owens then went ahead and hit his pump handle neckbreaker on John Cena, which is pretty cool. I like the move. And then he goes for the pop-up powerbomb on John Cena once again, but John Cena jumps over him and he hits another attitude adjustment for a 2 count. Cena then goes ahead and clotheslines him, and it looks like he's about to go for a second one, but Kevin Owens counters it with the pop-up powerbomb, but John Cena kicks out again. And then Owens tries to go something from the top turnbuckle, but John Cena catches up to him, and he hits him with the attitude adjustment from the top. And nobody's ever kicked out of this. When John Cena hits the attitude adjustment from the top, it's always been a win for John Cena. But Kevin Owens actually kicked out. And once he did that, once Kevin Owens kicked out of such a big move that nobody's kicked out of ever, I'm not talking about the attitude adjustment, guys, by the way, just talk about the attitude adjustment from the top. When Kevin Owens kicked out here, I was like, alright, you know what? Cena's winning this. And anyways, after that, Cena went ahead and picked him up. Owens rolled him up, but Cena kicks out, and then Cena locks him in the STF. And Owens gets close to the ropes, but Owens pulls him back. I mean, not Owens. Cena pulls him back right in the middle, locks it in once again, and eventually Kevin Owens taps out. So John Cena wins and retains the US title. So, yeah, Cena's still the champion. Now that Cena beat Kevin Owens clean, via pinfall, wasn't DQ or anything, I'm wondering if there's going to be a rematch at SummerSlam, because I thought Kevin Owens was winning this match, and if he was winning this match, then Cena would get a rematch clause, and they could end it at SummerSlam. now that Cena won this one too, this is 2 matches against Owens that he's won in a row. I don't know if Owens is going to get another rematch against Cena. Guess we'll have to wait and see. After that, we get The Miz coming out. Basically, he trashes Ryback and the Big Show. He says as far as he's concerned, Big Show's been gone since the Attitude Era and that he should retire. He makes fun of Ryback. And eventually, Big Show comes out. He just gets in the ring, and The Miz starts kissing up to him as soon as Big Show's music hits, pretending like he didn't say all those things, and he's like, hey, you know what, we should reunite as Show Miz and, take out Ryback together. As soon as Big Show gets in the ring, he hits him with a knockout punch, and that's it, and then he leaves, and that's it for that segment. After that, it is time for the main event. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Right off the bat, once the bell rings, Brock charges Rollins. He puts him in the corner, hits him with a couple shoulder tackles until the referee's like, alright, that's enough. And then Rollins gets out the ring. He runs away from Brock. Brock chases him. Seth Rollins gets back in the ring. The old trick. He gets back in the ring and then Brock follows him. And as soon as Brock gets in the ring, Seth Rollins starts attacking him. But shortly after, Brock hits him with like 5 German suplexes, sending Rollins flying. And Rollins then goes ahead and tries to run through the crowd or run, out of the building once again. He just grabs the championship, runs into the crowd, but Brock jumps over the barricade really quickly, grabs Rollins, throws him back at ringside, and then he puts the championship gently on the announce table. And he goes ahead and puts Rollins back in the ring, and he hits him with a 6 German suplex. And he goes for a 7th one, but Seth Rollins goes ahead and lands on his feet, and then he hits him with 6 or 7 super kicks, and Brock just doesn't want to go down. He hits him with all these super kicks. He also tries to take him down by, aiming at the legs, but Brock just doesn't want to go down. Eventually, he takes Brock out the ring. That's where he actually falls down. And he hits him with 2 suicide dives in a row. Because the first one, Brock was still up. Second one, Brock is still up. So he goes back in the ring, tries for another one. Brock quickly gets back in the ring. And he stops Seth Rollins, hits him with a belly-to-belly suplex. And the commentators counted that belly-to-belly suplex into Brock's total suplexes in the match. So it's not just counting German suplexes, it's the total amount of suplexes. And then a bit later, Brock hit a bunch more German suplexes. This time, was the German suplex where you hold on to your opponent, you don't let go. And then he slapped Rollins. Rollins slapped him back, and then Brock started kicking him and hitting him with knees. He hits him with some more German suplexes, and then he hits an F5. Now, during the match, Brock tried to go for the F5, I think twice before actually hitting it, and Seth Rollins got out of it. But also, Seth Rollins did try and go for the pedigree, but Brock got out of that too. So yeah, after a couple German suplexes more, Brock does hit the F5. He goes for the cover, and at this point I'm just expecting Seth Rollins to kick out because it's only the first F5 in the match, and I'm pretty sure that at the Rumble, Seth Rollins did kick out of one F5. So I thought for sure Seth Rollins was going to kick out here, but instead, the lights go out, we hear the gong, and then the lights come back on, and we see the Undertaker. And all of a sudden, Seth Rollins is nowhere to be seen, and the referee's disappeared. We don't see the referee after, Taker appears. And so Taker goes for the chokeslam, but Brock actually counters into the F5, and I'm like, damn, Taker can't do shit against Brock. But actually, Taker gets out of the F5 before Brock can hit it, and then he goes ahead and low blows Brock Lesnar. He kisses him in the nuts, and I'm like, damn, is this heel Taker or something like that? Probably not. It's not heel Taker, but after that, he actually hits the chokeslam. And then he goes for a tombstone piledriver, hits that, and then he looks at Brock a little while longer, and then he hits him with another tombstone. And then the crowd starts chanting one more time, but Taker is done after 2 tombstones, and then he does his pose while the lights go out and his music plays, and then he gets out the ring, goes on the stage, and looks back, and raises his arm as the lightning strikes. And that's it for the show. So what did I think about Battleground? Let's start off with the main event. I was disappointed in the main event, mainly the ending, with, Taker attacking Brock. I mean, Taker's a face, right? So, why is Taker attacking Brock? As far as I know, Brock's a face. Unless he was just a face for this feud with Seth Rollins, and then he's going back to being a heel, which, from the way it looks, it looks like that's what's going to happen, because I'm thinking him and Taker are now going to have a match at SummerSlam, and I don't think we're going to have a face Brock versus a face Taker. It's going to be heel Brock versus heel face Taker. Or what if they do heel Taker now, and now Taker's the heel because of what he did? I doubt that. But yeah, like, it just makes Taker look like a sore loser. He lost to Brock fair and square. Brock didn't cheat or anything, and I said this in my prediction game video, which is why I said, nah, that's not gonna happen. Taker's a face, faces aren't sore losers. He's not gonna go ahead and attack Brock, and that's exactly what happened here. Now, that's assuming the reasoning behind this is that Brock, beat him, and like Taker wants retribution, or he wants to prove that he can beat Brock because Brock beats him all the time. If it's not that, maybe the reasoning is Brock breaking Kane's ankle, but even that doesn't make much sense, because Mark Henry broke Kane's ankle not too long ago. Well, actually, yeah, it's been a while. It's been like 2 years or even more. When Mark Henry was a world champion, actually he wasn't world champion at that time, but he was heading towards that. And he broke Kane's ankle, so why did Taker not go after Mark Henry? I don't understand. So he doesn't go after Mark Henry, who breaks Kane's ankle, but decides to go after Brock, who breaks Kane's ankle, when Kane at the moment is a heel. And I'm pretty sure Taker doesn't approve, storyline-wise, kayfabe-wise, wouldn't approve of Kane at the moment being corporate and all that. So, I don't know, it's just, whatever reason it is, I feel it doesn't make too much sense. If he had a problem with Brock breaking the streak, then why didn't he do anything, like, last year? He came back, he went ahead and fought Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31, but he didn't say anything about Brock breaking the streak. He didn't go after Brock or anything, and then all of a sudden, 2 years later, he decides to go ahead and, take out Brock for something that happened, at WrestleMania 30. So that's the thing, I don't know. Maybe they'll provide, I guess a reasonable explanation or something that makes sense tomorrow, we'll see. But right now, I'm kind of like, I'm disappointed at the finish. And I also looked at WWE.com, because I wasn't sure, like, did this match end via disqualification or no contest? Normally when you attack somebody in the match like this, a match that's no DQ, the person you attack wins via disqualification, right? And that's what's supposed to happen. But when Taker, appeared, the referee disappeared for some reason, so did Seth Rollins, and so there was no ring bell when Taker went ahead and attacked Brock Lesnar. So it's supposed to be a DQ, but I looked at WWE.com, and it's a no contest, apparently. I don't get that. I mean, it's on television. It's just because the referee isn't there, you can still tell it's a disqualification when you attack somebody in a no DQ match, but whatever. It's just, I thought the match also could have been better. We've seen what Seth and Brock can do in that triple threat match at the Rumble. The match could have gone on longer. They could have had a bunch of other cool stuff, like have Seth, get some more offense in on Brock. They could have had Seth Rollins hit an elbow drop from the top through the announce table on Brock or something like that, like he did at the Rumble. But it was mostly, just German suplexes and, 1F5. We didn't even get to see if, Rollins kicks out of that 1F5. I feel they could have had Seth Rollins take advantage maybe of his environment more, make us think that maybe Rollins can win this. And come on, man, just after 1F5, that's it. Taker appears and, the match is over. Yeah. But, looking at the other matches, the Divas match actually got, a lot of time. Some things in the match did look a bit sloppy, or like the missile dropkick, like I said, you could see that coming a mile away. But it's pretty cool, they gave the Divas a good amount of time for that triple threat match. More than what, the Divas usually get on pay-per-view. And, it wasn't a bad match. Pretty big win for Charlotte there. And the match between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, I really liked that match. Thought it was cool. Love that, the Wyatt family's now back together. That's interesting. So it wasn't that long of a break, since they broke up or split up. Really enjoyed that match. I wasn't expecting to really enjoy that match, but it turned out pretty well. And I love the counter that Bray did, the clothesline to stop Roman Reigns' apron dropkick. The kickoff match I couldn't care less about. The Randy vs. Sheamus match, though, that was actually a pretty good match. And I know a lot of people, don't really look forward to Sheamus vs. Randy matches, but I'd say this was maybe their best match. And Primetime Players versus the New Day. I was really hoping for the New Day to win back the tag team titles because I'm a huge fan of the New Day. I like both these teams, but if I have to pick one team between the two, I would always pick the New Day. But I'm fine with the Primetime Players remaining tag team champions. Now, I'm wondering if there's going to be a rematch at SummerSlam, though. If there is, I'm still hoping for the New Day to win the tag team titles. But yeah, and Titus, man, he manhandled Kofi in that match. He hit him with like a backbreak and just threw him. But apart from that, also Kevin Owens versus John Cena, another great match between these two. But man, John Cena won. I wanted to see Kevin Owens win. Now, I like what John Cena's doing with the US title. The open challenges every single week. So even if this feud is over, I'm not sure if it's over. They might have a match at SummerSlam. If Kevin Owens had won this match, I would be like, for sure, there's going to be a rematch at SummerSlam because John Cena has that rematch clause. But now that Cena has beaten Owens once again, I don't know if there's going to be a fourth match between these two. If there is, they should have like a stipulation, to make it that one final match, to give it that really big match feel. Like the only thing that kind of annoyed me in the match is, once again, the commentators just no selling the powerbomb. Kevin Owens catching John Cena in midair with the powerbomb. The powerbomb is his damn finisher, and I guess just because he sit outs while doing it, I guess it's no longer his finisher, or whatever. So, yeah, I think I covered every single match there. As far as an overall rating for the show, I'd give it a 6.5 on 10. The main event really lowered the rating for me, just because of how it ended, and the match could have been a lot better. And now, with Taker probably facing off against Brock at SummerSlam, is Brock just going to forget about his championship rematch? The match ended via no contest, but that also means that Brock didn't lose the match. Although he should have won via, disqualification, but the referee decided to go take a snack or something like that once Taker appeared. Yeah, and as far as Taker versus Lesnar goes, I wonder if they're going to have Taker beat Lesnar. Or if they'll have Brock beat him once again so that, somebody else can beat the one in 21-1. Because if Brock goes ahead and loses to Taker at SummerSlam, then what was the point of him beating Taker at WrestleMania? Now, I understand, since beating Taker at WrestleMania, he's been this dominant superstar, and beating him is a huge thing, so why not use that to put over, like a superstar that they want to push by having them beat Brock instead of, Taker just getting his revenge and being the first person to beat the one in 21-1. But anyways, that's pretty much it. As far as the match of the night for me, I'd actually give it to Reigns versus Wyatt, or maybe John Cena versus Owens. Those two I thought were the best two matches of the night, so it's one of the two. I guess I'd give it to Reigns versus Wyatt, because I didn't expect the match to be that good, and also, I didn't expect the ending. But same goes with Owens versus John Cena. I didn't expect the ending, but I wanted the other ending. But as far as Reigns versus Wyatt goes, I was like, damn, Wyatt's gonna lose another match, so him winning was a nice surprise. So, yeah, I'll say the match of the night for me was Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, with Kevin Owens being the second, Kevin Owens versus Cena being the second one. In your opinion, what was the match of the night? Which match did you enjoy the most? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, as always, you can click that like button. With that said, I'm out. See ya.